I just finished my Spec Ops review. Sorry, I just finished my second playthrough of Spec Ops. Pretty good. Pretty good game. It's not as life-saving as some people claim it is. It's not a fantastic game, but I don't know. It brings me back to the point when there were fantastic games. But yeah, it's kind of like In and Out. How everyone seems to think In and Out is just this fantastic fucking sublime treat from God itself. In and Out's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And the thing about this game is it doesn't really do any one thing particularly well, but it just does so much well. It just has all these little things. It's even though it's a shooter, I almost think it's a thinking man's game just because there's really so much going on. So I'm just going to go through this random list of things that I jotted down. I like the dying guys. The dying guys are awesome. They add a level of immersion to the gameplay. It's like, normally you're aiming, you're always like just checking out what's in front of you, just constantly, just like, okay, the enemies will be, from the yay high, but when the enemies are on the ground, it's like, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I noticed that as you progress through the game, the executions get more brutal. The execution system is great. It plays into the ammo system. The ammo is done really well in this game. You never have enough to feel like you're sitting on an arsenal. It's always you're constantly scrounging, okay? And it makes every shot you fire mean something. When you're not, you basically like. I don't know exactly what the breakdown is, but like you get like 3 or 4 magazines, and with the saw you have 2 box mags. But at the beginning of the game, he starts off just whacking the bodies, like he'll just like bah bah, and or the people and killing them, and that's great. And then he goes psycho, and for the executions, he shoots him in the leg and then in the face. Like, why did he do that? I didn't need to shoot him in the leg. That was pretty awesomeful. Yeah, it's awesomeful. And then by the end of the game, he does this like terrible like kind of deal. Come on, oh gosh, I want you to help me increase production value. Yeah, you will increase production value. Come on, look. The kills are kind of satisfying. Killing the insurgents is okay. They're just like video game bad guys. But killing the 33rd, for some reason, it's so fun. I don't know. It's hard to describe. Every time you kill, you get to kill again. I guess that's the big takeaway. I couldn't beat it on the highest difficulty. I tried so hard, but it's people say, "Oh, realistic." Like when people use the term realistic in video games, I want to do a reenactment of that one guy with a shotgun, because it's just like no, they'll never. I mean, I haven't been to combat, but until they can have you shit in your pants because you're running black on ammo, I don't think the games will ever be realistic. But to the same token, it's realistic in the sense that if you pop over cover and there's like 5 guys looking at you, you're just dead. You're just fucking dead. If there's multiple people waiting for you to pop out, or even 1 or 2, you're just dead on the highest difficulty. So I dropped down to the lower difficulty. Like there's like easy, medium, and hard. Hard is still a decent challenge. There's a huge gap between hard and the hardest. A huge gap. But it was a good challenge. It was a good challenge. My second playthrough, things went a little bit smoother than my first one. There's my first playthrough. There's that point where you drop down by the bus and you just have like your Desert Eagle and 6 rounds, and that took me so long in my first playthrough. it really took me forever. And this second playthrough, I did it like 3 or 4 tries. So that was so relieving because I was dreading that moment. Like the difficulty spike, it just goes through the roof. And then not too far after that, you find the agent. And I guess I have a gripe because like you can so Lugo and Adams, they're kind of like the angels on your shoulder in a way, and they make Adams out to be the good guy and Lugo out to be the more ruthless guy, but there's a lot of subjectivity in both takes. There's a lot. They're both valid. That doesn't just come down to good guy, bad guy. Lugo is Hispanic and Adams is black, and normally this whole like diversity for diversity's sake thing just makes me cringe. It's like, okay, we got one of them, we got one of them, we got one of them. And in a way, I think it's more racist than just portraying something. But being a soldier, I can tell you that if you took just a sample of 3 guys from any squad anywhere, I don't know how Delta Force works, but I know how the Army works, you might end up with a Hispanic guy, a black guy, and a white guy. In fact, like that's almost the norm. Yeah, I learned quite a bit in the Army, and a lot of it was about people, and a lot of it was about people that had a very different experience than me. So it fits the aesthetic. It fits like this authentic kind of thing. Some of the guys, I don't know. The game seems to play differently. I don't even know how to exactly describe it between the beginning and the end. It's like I wrote down here that I staggered someone really bad, and they still shot at me. It just seems like I don't know. It's maybe just your firepower is greater by the end of the game because yeah, I think what happened was I was shooting him with the SMG, and he just ran up towards me anyways and still shot at me, and that was because it was at full range. Yeah, the good ammo ratio. My favorite moment in this game, my absolute favorite moment in this game is when I committed a war crime. Like I was going through this hallway, and I was supposed to take out this MG nest. And the 33rd, they wear this like really cringy, like these wraps and all this. They got like all this extra stuff going on. They're in tan, and so they'll come around. And on the hard difficulty, they'll wait 1 second before they draw on you. So you have that 1 second advantage to draw on them first. That's really the huge difference. Whereas on the highest one, they just walk around already aiming, or maybe their bullets are just so powerful that it makes up for that 1 second difference. So I'm going around the hallway, and I'm turning the corner, and there's a figure like walking towards me, and without hesitation, blammo, like boom. And it was a civilian. It was a civilian. And, there's still gunshots and stuff going out on the other side of the hallway. So I'm just like, whoops. And I just kind of just walk past your body. And I mean, it's terrible and it's disgusting, but they made a war crime simulator at that point. Okay. I mean, heaven forbid that ever happens to anyone in real life, but there was a powerful moment right there. There was a powerful moment right there because I consciously just said, fuck it, and just walked past her body. I didn't even give a moment to grieve or anything. The realization hit, and then as soon as that hit, the next thought was, okay, better get back in the fight. The cover system's pretty mediocre. I like Gears of War's cover system a lot more, even though it's really sticky. I like how when you hold down A, the guy goes into a roadie run. I died a lot in this game because I thought my guy would just do a roadie run. If he slips out of cover, he'll do a roadie run, which is when he runs crouched. But otherwise, it just for so many years of Gears of War, it kind of conditioned my mind to never even think about crouching or anything like that. Crouching is pretty good. Crouching is pretty good in this game. You kind of want to do that. The weapons are all pretty valid for the most part. They're all pretty good. They're all pretty good. They all have their ups and their downs. The M9, kind of fun to use at the beginning of the game when you're not like trying too hard. That one's kind of fun to use. You end up using the Deagle as like a sidearm. That one is pretty good. It's a pretty good gun. My favorite one is definitely the P90. It's just so accurate, and it just delivers so many shots. The UMP is scary, though. Even on the hard difficulty, if you're closer to them, it's scary. I don't feel like the SAW was too valid when you first like get a hold of it, but later on in the game, it's just great to have that high caliber weaponry. I think it's just because when you first see it, the enemies don't have that much health or armor, or I don't even know if there's a meaningful distinction between those things. And so it's just like I could just shoot him with the M4. The M4, pretty good gun. Okay gun, I guess I'd say. It just doesn't really have any strengths or weaknesses. It's just kind of there. I find that I piss through ammo through it pretty quickly. It has a silencer to put on top of it, but the stealth dynamics in this game pretty much come down to like you can kill these 2 or 3 guys quietly, and then the next encounter you're going to have to fight everyone. Yeah, there's that part where you save Adams from the crashed helicopter. Maybe if I had a silenced weapon, it would have worked out a little bit better at that first part. But he ends up going down anyways, and I'm pretty sure they're just going to turn their guns on you. So the stealth, kind of just like, why? Why is this even in the game? I guess they just wanted the MAC-10 and the M4 to have a special ability, but it just seems kind of wasted. The AK has a semi-capability. I don't think I ever used it. It's a pretty good gun. You just point at them and shoot them, and they die. P90 pretty good. RPG's wacky. The Scar is kind of shitty, but the grenade launcher makes up for that. You end up coming across like a shotgun at the beginning, and it's very bad. Very, very bad. Very bad. But you end up coming across a semi-auto shotgun, and that thing just sings. It's pretty good. It's pretty good at close combat. He moves the barrel quick enough, but there's like a A12 or something. I don't even know if it's a shotgun. It just shoots a big-ass shell out, and it just shoots too quickly. It aims too slowly, and it shoots too quickly. But the bad guys will mess you up with it. It's only there at the end of the game. Something really interesting happens at the end of the game. And it's like the game. It's like the game's being smart. It's being clever. You bust into this like aquarium or something, or no? I guess you were leaving the aquarium, whatever. And Lugo is a heavy. It's kind of weird because like his body is like stretched to fit the proportions of a heavy, so he's like larger than life. But then of course I picked up his AA-12. And I got killed because that thing's kind of hard to use. And so I reloaded it, and the heavy is now a heavy. The heavy isn't Lugo, so kind of a fun little like, oh wow, that's different. Oh wow, kind of gave me a reason to be like, why is that like that? The battle rifle is really good. It's a really good. I don't even remember what it's called, but it has you can turn the scope on or off, and you just point and shoot and kill them. It's pretty good. It's pretty satisfying to kill the 33rd. It's like being a shark almost. When this game's at its best, you can move around and actually move up and advance while you're killing them. But too often during the end of the game, you're kind of just muddled down behind cover. Just it becomes like you're like a bunker at that point. The graphics are nice and stylized. Kind of like Time Sweepers in a way. It's just kind of like just like a big, bulky football player. The blind fire only works really well when you're up close, which is great. And the ammo scarcity makes it so that you don't want to just piss away all your ammo trying to spray away at them. But I found consistently that the spray and pray worked better towards the end of the game than at the beginning. I'm not sure if that's because I was using the MAC-10 and the M16 AK at the beginning of the game to spray, or maybe it's just because they're getting closer to me at the end of the game. I can't really recall, but it seems like for whatever reason the blind fire works better towards the end. And yeah, it could be due to the fact that the heavies have bigger character models. The grenade toss is very concise. I really like the grenade toss in this game. It gives you such a great trajectory about where it's going to go. Very few times that I toss a grenade and no, it didn't happen at all. It never happened where I just like and like, oh well, I didn't mean to do that. It just that seems to plague so many games. Just like you toss it, and it's just like, wow, that wasn't what I wanted at all. You can stick people with the stickies super easy. During the mortar mission, everyone likes to talk about the mortar mission. I won't even bother it. But you see your guys' face on the screen towards the end of it. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's kind of like it shows you looking at it. And at the end of the game, there's like you, and you're looking at Conrad, and then you're also looking at you. And so Conrad talks to you, and then he talks to you as well. It's kind of cool. Kind of cool. There's an Auric at the end of the game. There's just an Auric. This that like the thing from the Lion King with those horns that go backwards. It's kind of like an elk, but goth. And that comes to really what makes this game so wonderful is there's so many assets. There's so many assets in this game. It's preposterous. They've really just put a lot of love into crafting all these assets. When you go to the radio tower, there's like what is it said? Click and heat meals. I don't know what you're clicking, but it really gets the noggin jogging. There's this place where you go get to see a video game preview, and the video game and this video game looks so cool. There's like these orcs or whatever, and they've got dinosaurs, and then there's these people in these mechs, and they're firing grapnel launchers at the dinosaurs to bring down the dinosaurs. And it's all done in this wonderful mural. All throughout the game, there's this like graffiti, and it seriously just gives you a second to like look at it, and it not only encapsulates what's going on in the story, but like it reflects the story. Like it seems organic. It seems like it feeds into the story, and the story feeds into it. Yeah, just a lot of assets. There didn't need to be that many assets to tell this story. There's so many different shapes of so many different things, and very very few things are symmetrical at all. Oh yeah, and then I guess I'll end this on this note. Towards the end of the game, you're getting this gunfight, and these guys coming down the zip line. I can't shoot him for shit for whatever reason. Sometimes it seems like I hit him so well. So I'm going down this hallway, and with the shotgun, it hits him oh so lightly. So there's this guy, and he got winged, and he got thrown on the ground. And so I rushed over to go take his position and hit him. And by the time I got there, he was already dead. He had walked away and then bled out. Kind of cool. This game just has so many intimate little touches that they just come together in a way that I don't know. It's not only got so much going on, but it all comes together in one concise package.